Buhari lifts employment embargo on federal government MDAs. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has lifted the long embargo placed on all federal government organizations. According to the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, the head of service of the Federation, Folashade Mejabi Yemi, made this known on Saturday. According to her, Buhari lifted the embargo to enable the teeming youth of Nigeria get employment in a bid to tackle insecurity in the country. She assured that all federal government parastatals, especially education, has been granted approval for mass recruitment. Similarly, the Minister of Labour, Dr. Chris Ngige, said Buhari is keen on employing Nigerian youth in various federal government agencies, and as a result, the embargo on employment had to be lifted to reduce the high level of economic hardship amongst the teeming Nigerian youth. So, what Buhari has done is lifting embargo on employment to employ teeming Nigerian youth. What kind of teeming Nigerian youth do we have? The ones that are still in school and can't graduate, the ones that have graduated long years ago without employment and cannot be employed by some parastatals because they don't have experience. So I don't understand the teeming youths that are already going into different kinds of vocation to keep their lives going. So what kind of teeming youths have we even generated that are actually qualified and meet for employment? And again, they are saying that they have lifted this embargo to employ the teeming youth in order to tackle the insecurity in the country. Now, the problem of insecurity in the country, is it really because the youths are not fully employed? Or is it because we have not been able to control banditry from the north? Because it is obvious that the genesis of insecurity in the country, one, came from the activities of Fulani herdsmen that migrated from wherever they came from into northern Nigeria, and from northern Nigeria looking for a way to go across all the corners of Nigeria to claim people's farmland and kill the farmland owners, community land owners, and take over for the grazing of their cattle. How far have we fought the issue of Boko Haram, ISWAP, and other bandits from at various parts of the country? Are they telling us that those bandits are students? Or are they telling us that those bandits are unemployed youths in the country? That is unbelievable. So whatever they have done is like cutting a problem from the branches rather than getting to the root of the matter. The problem of insecurity in the country is partly because people are not gainfully employed, but that is not the big problem. The big problem is banditry has gone out of control. And banditry is obviously carried out by the so-called herders that have migrated to drag the farmland from the farmland owners and from community owners. So we really need to nip this issue on the bud and telling us that employing teeming youths. First of all, the youths you have in the country, how far have you prepared them to take over the governance and activities of this country? Now there's a saying that the youths are the leaders of tomorrow. Now how have we prepared these leaders of tomorrow? Now the youths that you are saying you want to employ, how have you prepared them? Youths that have been in the schools are half-baked, schools can't start and finish at the said period, 4 years program turned to 7 years, 8 years. People are at home, they've forgotten what they learned now. ASU has been on strike. Students that have been at home for over 9 months have forgotten what they studied. So when they come back to school, they're going to start all over again. Is it the kind of youth that have actually lost interest in Nigerian educational system? Or the ones that have graduated for the past 10 years, we've churned out graduates from universities that have nowhere to be? Or how are you going to employ this teeming youth without political influence, without nepotic influence, without tribalistic influence? Because in the country today, if you don't have a politician as a godfather, you can't get a job. Are they telling me that the children of the politicians and the children of the poor in this country have the same employment opportunity in Nigeria of today? No, I will disagree, and I totally disagree to that. So telling me that you are employing teaming Nigerian youth, or you are lifting embargo on employment on federal government parastatals to employ teaming Nigerian youth to be able to tackle insecurity, has not gotten to the root of our insecurity problem today. That has not gotten to the root. That is just something to divert attention. That is just something to tell the public, to show that you are doing something. But what you are doing is not the real thing that should be done. And it's not the only thing that should be done. And that should not be the only root cause that should have attention or focus from the government. So, well, it's a good thing you are creating employment. It's a good thing you are lifting embargo on employment. But the question I have to ask the government is this: how many positions do you have in these government parastatals? And how many Nigerian youths are available for these positions? Because if you are going at parastatals, even if you have 10,000 positions, I'm sure we have more than 100 to 200,000, if not more, graduates that we have today, that we have churned out in the past 10 years. I'm just trying to be a bit conservative by saying 10 years. Because I know that unemployment has been a big problem in this country for the past 2 to 3 decades. For more than 3 decades. So for all those people that you have employed, that have graduated, that can't find work, they can't get business because the environment does not support business, no infrastructure for business, are they going to have the same opportunity? Or you are going to put age limit? You are going to put several conditions that over 70% of these so-called youths will not be able to qualify for. So something has to be done differently. Now, what I think government should be doing is not just creating employment in parastatals that are not productive, that are not profit-oriented, that cannot generate any revenue. You rather create an enabling environment and then introduce vocational system, introduce small-scale businesses, an opportunity that people can now go and enhance, get themselves self-employed, get business going, and also, along the line, we'll be able to create employment. That is what other countries are doing, like UK, US, and Canada, where they create entrepreneurship program, and people who are capable of going into that have the opportunity, have all the incentives for them to go into it, and then run for a while, create employment for other people as well. That is what I think should be done, because government cannot and will never have the capacity to keep employing citizens and to keep paying them. When at the end of the day, you are going to have number of workers more than the revenue that such parastatals are generating. How are you going to pay for the overhead cost? How are you going to manage this parastatals to remain profitable if they are actually profitable in the first place? So what government should be doing is creating an enabling environment for businesses to thrive and for people that have vocational skill set to set themselves up independently and then pay tax. And that's, by so doing itself, the government will generate more revenue from tax. Again, the case of tax is a big matter. It's a separate topic to be discussed, because a lot of people have been paying tax in this country for years now, and we cannot say what the tax is being used for. You pay tax, and the tax, you can't see where the tax is going to. And then people are paying tax to state government, to federal government. Big companies are paying tax. Individual businesses are paying tax. Revenues are being collected at various levels, at various points. What are these revenues used for? We don't know. So again, the business environment is so hostile that even when they create it, it's going to take government a while as well to create that confidence that people will have and say, yes, the environment is getting better now. So government should create policies and programs and enabling environment for people to be independent, for people to be self-employed, not government creating employment opportunity in parastatals that are not even productive in the first place, that are not profitable in the first place, that are already getting into deficit in the first place. How much budget are you going to make annually to fund those parastatals, to continue to pay salaries? And why can't some of those parastatals be privatized? and bring in the public-private partnership program into some of these so-called parastatals, so that government can be free to handle policies and administrative programs effectively. Government has no business running business. What government has to do is providing enabling environment, enabling infrastructure, enabling socio-political and economic structure for individuals and private entities to thrive. And then when they are thriving, they can then pay their taxes to the government. So I rest my case in this matter. Just look at what the government intends to do and make a comment below, and thank you for listening.